Max Power or my tag's Kota, but yeah.
Okay, you're the guy from Twitter though, right?
Yep, yeah.
Okay, perfect. I just want to make sure. I didn't
Oh
see.
yeah, sorry, I forgot that my name on there is Max Power.
No problem. Okay. Can you remind me how long you've been playing Kota?
Like 3 years, but some of it not like competitively necessarily.
Okay. I'm gonna put you down as a 2-year player then, because it's your on and off.
Yeah.
All right. Do you have 5.8.7?
I do, yeah.
Awesome. So let me just pull up a code for us.
Sure.
Who do you main?
Falco.
Falco? Cool. Alright, it's gonna be in your Discord message.
Alright, let me check. Alright, I got it. Let me just type it in.
Sweet, I see you.
Cool.
So have you taken a lesson with me already?
Probably what?
Have you taken a lesson with me before?
Yeah, we took one lesson, but like I actually didn't even have like a computer with me, so we just did like literal like voice tips, basically. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think I remember now. Alright.
Yeah.
So if I had to play one character today, who would you want me to play?
Like just a character that I find most annoying.
Or who would you want to work on, against today?
We'll say Marth.
Okay.
Who do you mean?
I main Marth.
Oh, okay, cool. I guess that works out best anyway.
I mean, it's just whoever you want practice against, right?
Yeah, well, we might switch to like Peach maybe, but for now Marth is good.
Okay, we'll look at Peach too if we need to, okay? So, we'll just start off with a quick friendly, and then we'll go over some topics as I see fit, okay?
Okay. Okay. Alright, thanks.
So, like, overall, your combo game is pretty good. Your positioning is fine.
Okay.
Where are you from?
Or Massachusetts.
Okay. Are you power ranked?
No, I'm like one of the players that's like on that next level, I guess you could say.
The up-and-comers?
Like, yeah.
Okay.
Like in contention for future power rank, maybe.
Yeah. Have you gone to an arcade before?
Yeah. Only one, and it was like 8 months ago. I kind of got off. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay. The next one you go to, you'll do much better for sure. You seem very competent right now.
I think something that I definitely struggle with. I mean, maybe I'm exaggerating because I just like get annoyed in tournament, but I feel like I do definitely like have slight mentality issues in tournament.
Okay, we can work on that.
Where I'll like, I don't know, kind of get so nervous that I'll start to play a little bit worse.
Yeah. I mean, I've been there as well.
That was a dirty combo.
Yeah, your positioning and your DI overall are pretty good. I didn't see any like glaring weaknesses. You have good mix-ups on your timings and your approaches. You're approaching pretty correctly. You know, you're actually fast following your aerials and all that stuff.
Yeah, something that I guess that I find slightly difficult is I just find it hard to like actually keep Marth out a lot of the time, and I feel like I don't know, like in terms of other characters, I feel like because of Marth's like sword range, he has an easier time getting in on Falco than a lot of characters. And then like his punish is just so devastating. So I'm not sure how to like play the neutral so that I'm a little bit safer most of the time, I guess.
I get you. Can you repeat the very first thing you said? It's hard to keep up with Marth. Is that what you said?
Keep him out, actually.
Keep him out. Okay.
Yeah, like a lot of the times I try to. I don't know, like I'm definitely in general, like a slightly laser spammy Falco, but with Marth specifically, I feel like they can get in on him easier. Like a lot of people I play against in Mass, like, or at least the people that I care about beating, they focus a lot on like power shields, and those like power shields run in and grab me, and I'm just like, fuck, what do I do?
I would say I noticed that's one of your stronger approaches, in that the Falcos that pressure me a lot are doing more jump ins or dash jumps at me that you're not doing as well.
Like what kind of dash jump approach do you mean exactly?
Like I get nared and dared a little bit more than you do. Let me see.
Okay. Like maybe a little bit too much laser or something?
Well, it's just right now you're not like running at me. Hold on. Never mind. Alright. There are just a couple times where, as we're fighting, you don't do the dash jump in at the right spacing, right? So I want you to dash down air me from here, right? Okay, you want to get that down air. Yeah, exactly. So make sure you get that down air lower. Yeah, kind of like that. Yeah, kind of like that, right? So that's one thing you need to practice on, is like that, getting more used to this. Yeah. So it's like a fast fall spacing, right? It's not the exact full drift, right? You need to get that fast fall inserted into there. And right now you're kind of like getting up to that spot and then moving quickly. I kind of want you to like, you know, mask neutral, get to that spot, and then, you know, burst into that movement a little bit better. Because right now you're just not burst jumping into me. Yeah, like that, right? And when you are able to threaten with nair and down air a little bit better like that, your laser pressure will become slightly stronger.
Okay.
Right.
So just since they're more clear to me coming in on them, basically, they'll have more reason to be worried about my lasers.
Exactly, and there's two big mix-ins with this dash jump, and you still need a little bit of strength with this practice, because the fast fall and the distance is a little bit new to you, right? Make sure you're jumping close enough to me so that you can get that maximum fast fall and dash length, right? So show me one more time.
Okay.
You're a little too far when you're starting this dash. Yeah, more like there, yeah. And you wanna be able to either down air low, nair low, or tomahawk grab me, right? And so that nair is not fast fall, right? You wanna fast fall nair, right? And so it just, you need a little bit more.
What was that?
You need a little bit more familiarity with what dash fast fall nair looks like, right? And how far it reaches.
Yeah, I know like what it looks like, but a lot of times, if I like get the like if my nair connects, sometimes I'll like miss the fast fall. I guess.
It's because you're still nairing on your rising nair, right? You're still not fast falling before nair.
Oh, okay. So you think I should like? Like,
yeah, I'm being very explicit with you on this dash, short hop, fast fall aerial, right?
fast fall before the aerial, though?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Right, so you're not used to this pressure.
I'm gonna have to like get used to actually fast falling before my nair.
Yeah, and this type of speed and pressure is from a different range and applies different types of pressure, right? When you do rising aerial for me from this distance, it's very easy for me to block it or crouch cancel it.
Yeah, I get crouch cancel a lot.
Yeah, it's because you're not doing late aerials.
Okay.
Right, and you're not used to this length. You keep jumping at these different lengths, but I want you to jump only at like this length. Right, it's the dash short hop. Exactly, you need to fast fall it. Right. So when you start mixing this fast fall, one is you don't have to do aerial. You can start tomahawk grabbing me more, or shine grabbing me. Right. You do like the tomahawk shine grab. That is actually like almost unbeatable. Yeah. Just those three mix-ups. Yeah, it's hard because you're not practicing the fast fall, right? You're still...
Yeah.
Just practice it without the aerial. You need to practice it first without the aerial, right? Yeah. What does this look like in at what space, right? And then just basically right before you land, throw in that nair, and I'll cancel it. Right, and it's a different length. You're still kind of jumping at the old length where you don't need to fast fall. There you go. Right, so there's a couple things at play right here where you're not used to the distance and you're not used to the way you jump, right?
Yeah.
And so now you're understanding why you're weak forward.
Okay.
Right, other Falcos are not as weak as you in this direction because they're stronger with this aerial. You're not fast falling, or yeah, you're not fast falling. That's a little bit better.
I think I'm having a lot of trouble, like when I fast fall first, I'm having trouble like letting my stick return to neutral, so I'm able to get like the nair out soon enough, I think.
That's why I said first practice the fast fall without nair.
Okay.
Right. Yeah. I mean, that nair is unreasonable, says chat. I mean, you can nair it during the fast fall. You don't have to nair after, but it's just you need to do it lower.
Okay.
Right, you're still doing it too high. Yeah, that one's better. Right, you want the hard nair to hit the crouch. Right. So right now you're still like yeah. Well, it's just you're pressing the A button too soon. Right.
Okay.
That's what's causing the rising aerial. Yeah. Right. So just delay the timing of the A button. Right. And not all of your nair approaches are gonna look like super low nair. Right. Some of them are gonna be higher, some are gonna be lower. Right. But the fact is you're never doing low aerial on me. Right. And it's a different spacing horizontally. Exactly. It's a different spacing horizontally because you had to fit in the fast fall. Right? So because you were never fast falling, you couldn't get the same type of pressure on me.
Yeah, I see what you mean. I can definitely do it a little easier with the dare, like getting the low, super low one. I don't know why. I'll have to practice the nair on my own more too, I guess.
Yeah, it's fine, man.
Make sure I can hit it consistently.
Just make sure that you delay the timing of the nair, right? Good. Right. And so, as you mix in lasers in these different distances, right, and I keep harping on the fast fall distance is different from the distance you're used to, right? The rising aerial distance.
Yeah.
Right. So, definitely manipulate the neutral spacing with your lasers and mix in, yeah, exactly. Mix in those low aerials to pressure forward.
Try to get myself into this position where I can get like a safe aerial, basically.
Yeah, and the more advanced part of this lesson is going to be you can't just rush into this spot, right? You can't just get into here and do low aerial every time.
Yeah.
Right. you're gonna have to play neutral and then yeah, exactly, fix your way into this low aerial spot, right? And when you start doing lower aerials, the pressure is just harder. I'm gonna have to roll or crouch cancel or just back off, right? And so and then you're gonna eventually do these just tomahawk jumps, maybe, right? You do tomahawk jumps and maybe you follow where I roll, or you laser a different direction. But now, like, your forward pressure is just so much stronger now, right? Especially because you're fast falling. Yeah.
I like never mixing tomahawks. That's something I always like have thought about mixing them, but I don't know. I never actually did it.
Well, it's only strong, right? These tomahawks are only strong when you put low aerial pressure on, right?
Yeah, like when they're already afraid of the pressure, basically.
Yeah. Well, if you're always doing rising aerial, the tomahawk is almost nearly impossible to pull off, right? You have to put yourself in a position where it's like the mix-up is low aerial or tomahawk. Do you know what I'm saying? Because it's like almost indiscernible to me, right? Because you're already so close on top of me.
It's just like till the last second.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
You actually don't know what they're gonna do.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So this tool will help you with your forward approaches. Laser grab and laser forward tilt are also different ways, but this is just one thing I noticed in our gameplay is the way you jump forward at me was just not as pressuring, right?
Okay.
Alright, let's play it friendly.
Okay.
That's right.
Thank you.
You have good positioning here. Like, you don't overcommit too hard when you go to the ledge, so I like that. Kind of mix in ledge dash.
Yeah, I go for double laser a little bit too much. I don't know that.
These things get stronger as you mix in that one or two options you're not doing, right?
Yeah, that's true.
There you go. Good low aerials. You gotta use up tilt at that percent.
Okay.
Because these shines are putting me too far away. Combo. Dash tips. And that full hop down air you did, right?
Yeah.
You did full out down air, and then I hit here, and then rolled here.
Yeah.
Try to position closer to where I tech, because you stood here. Yeah, and it's okay. It's okay if you miss, but don't stand on like exactly one option.
Okay. So yeah, because then I can only cover tech or roll. You're saying, or tech away. I mean, you're saying.
Yeah.
Rather.
Exactly. You just wanna just be closer to where he's gonna tech, just because.
Okay.
You're more possible to cover. Yeah. It's okay. Nice. Nice.
FD actually, like, strangely enough, is my favorite stage against every character. I kind of pick, like, each, like, every single person that can chain grab me to death, I still kind of pick FD for some reason.
Yeah, I think your positioning and your overall approach to like the matchup is fine. I wanted to introduce one more thing to you before we do our next friendly. Is a lot of times you go from this distance into me a little too quickly. Okay, so like you'll shoot a laser. You shoot a laser from so, hold on. Don't move horizontally. Don't move horizontally. So yeah, you start from like this range, and you'll shoot a laser into approach, pretty universally. And I don't want to like knock this because you're going even with me in many of our stocks, and it works. I just want to introduce a mix up to you, okay? So instead of laser approaching, kind of linearly, right? You're almost doing it too linearly, right? So I want you to think about you're gonna laser in the spot that you're at, right? And then you're gonna mix in variations of stationary aerial.
Like this, or like retreating aerial, maybe even.
And there's different versions of it. Okay, so there's right now you're showing me rising, right? You can do low versions as well, yep. And you can do down air, and you can do forward or backwards, right? You can do a little bit forward. You don't have to do like maximum drift forward, right? You can do a little bit forward, a little bit back, but basically it's like a laser into a mid-distance aerial. Okay.
Okay.
And these are the things that will catch me dashing in on you or jumping at you in weird ways. Okay. And you can also do this like laser into retreating down air, right? And then to kind of just get more space. Yeah. Right.
Yeah, because if they try to approach them, that'll be really hard for them, I guess.
Yeah, and there's different versions of this, right? It's even maybe laser to retreating laser, right? And what I'm really getting at, though, is the way you go from this position onward from your laser is a little too linear, right? So I want you to think of different spacings around where you're standing right now.
All right.
That was cool.
We'll take it. Oh, that was a sick tech.
That was a nice low down near. Nice. So like sometimes that high nair that you just did is perfectly fine, right? Off the laser. Right.
Okay.
So I don't want to discourage you necessarily from what you're already doing, but understand like the different options, right?
Just to mix in other things, yeah.
Yeah, and those low aerials are better in those raw approaches. right? Or if I shield, right? Oh, these are shield drops?
Yeah, that should be.
You can turn on UCF after this game if you want.
Yeah, it's fine, honestly, because at my locals, they don't use UCF lows, so I'd rather get better at it anyway.
Okay.
Oh, shit. Oh, well. Take it.
That was sick. You tomahawked a little too far, though.
Okay. Yeah, I was trying to mix it in.
Yeah, you're still kind of doing that, like, full dash jump, right?
Uh-huh.
You want to, like, mix in that fast fall,
fast
yeah.
fall.
Yeah, so it's a different distance. Oh my gosh, I took way too many hits to that. Nice. Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, I don't actually know what happened there, but I got out of, like, lag really weirdly.
Nice.
I was dreaming.
You had some good mix-ups. We're still working on that dash jump length.
Okay.
Oh my god, that worked out. Nice reversals. Oh my gosh. Sometimes I think you should still up tilt instead of shine, but you managed to catch that one still.
Oh, you just got the light shield to slide away, that was good.
That was more of that stationary down here, right?
Yeah, I was thinking about it, yeah.
Well, it just happened to cover roll that time, right? It was a good position.
Yeah, I actually
Like-
I didn't expect the roll to come out, but like I was happy that it caught it anyway.
Yeah, that's cool. So like right here when you're pressuring, I want you to so you're like dancing around this area, right? I want you to
Yeah.
think about never crossing this platform. Because there are a lot of times
This one's like
What's up?
this just like a side platform, you mean?
Yeah, I want you to think about never going left of this position. Right?
To just try to hold center, you mean?
Yeah, you can get close to here and maybe cross this line to bait it, but there's a lot of times where you will enter this zone here, and like I said, you kind of just go too linearly. You like go from here to me too quickly.
Okay.
Right? So like instead of you jumping to me and like getting shielded or basically putting your body on top of me and me potentially reversaling you, right? You want to just make sure that I never cross this position.
So basically just try my best to keep you out there.
Yeah, and remember we talked about how you can do those mid-distance zoning. So like you shoot a laser, you dance around, and then you do like an in-place aerial. Yeah, right? Like there's a lot of times where basically I'll rush to get more of this stage, right? And if you are just in low commitment, exactly, right? This retreating down. If you're in low commitment or zoning these different moves, there's just a high chance you'll block me from entering center ground, right?
Yeah.
But there's too many times you skip this plan of blocking me, sorry, of like blocking me here because you move too quickly to here.
So I just approach like without taking my advantage, kind of.
You concede your advantage too quickly, right? So like you like get to here and then you're like it's time to hit him, right?
Mm-hmm.
When really it's like it's time to guard this spot.
Okay. Yeah, I definitely like think that I have that problem a little bit where I'll kind of like throw away like the positional advantage just because I want to like rush in. I notice you do it especially against like most of the floatier matchups where like I get annoyed with I guess how the neutral's going and I just want to hit them.
Yeah, why don't we just practice it right now? I'm gonna be on the ledge and I want you want to at least threaten. So there's two ways to threaten this, right? It's like laser F tilt. That's one of the best ways. Okay.
Okay.
So position the F tilt. So it's you don't want you're moving too much. You're making this too tricky on yourself, right? Don't move this much, right? Stand at the spot.
Yeah.
You know, Wispy's gonna fuck it up a little bit, but stand at the spot and just laser F tilt. So that the F tilt, right? And I don't want you to jump in like this, right? Don't make it hard on yourself. Get to the spot and then
stay here.
Well, no. Your F tilt needs to cover here, right?
Okay.
Your F tilt, you're a little too far off the stage, right? The F tilt covers me landing on stage, just like that. Right?
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Alright, you don't want your F tilt going off the stage, right?
So
that's more like it. Right? Sometimes you're a little too far. Yeah, that's like almost perfect. Yeah. Okay.
A little bit too.
And what I'm saying is don't excessively move, right? I don't want you to like go from here, do that perfect laser F tilt like that, right? More like
Yeah.
Set it up and be more accurate, right? There are a lot of times I'm like, this F tilt's too far, this, there's a lot of ways it goes wrong, right? But if you do this pressure, there's so many ways I can't deal with this.
And you could hit, yeah.
Right? So that's the safe way. You do laser F tilt, and then you just back off to here, if it goes wrong. Right? And then you're here, yeah, exactly. And then maybe you do down airs to guard that spot, right? Down airs in place.
Okay.
Right, you can do forward, back, yeah, exactly, right? And it's more not about hitting me at this spot, right? It's more about preventing me from crossing here.
Okay. It's basically just about holding me in the corner so I can keep the positional advantage, right?
Yeah, and you don't have to just spam lasers, and you can dash grab me or dash aerial me if you find the right time, right? But the most important thing is like I'm from here, and you just never let me get back to center. Right, so like use this laser forward tilt while I'm here. Right. Exactly, right? So you get that one aerial and then you back off exactly. You back off to there.
You got me that time.
Well, but you see how your plan is like still very solid, right? And like
It
few times
it definitely works better.
Yeah, and the few times it doesn't work, you see how much room behind you have to like practice a different variation of it. Like you could have dash dance or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Right, but like there's only so many variations of you jumping from here onto my face that work.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
It does. Like there's like a limited number of them. But I can like mix them up to try to make sure you don't get in on me, basically, I guess.
Yes, right. And like, should you approach me incorrectly, right? Something could go wrong, right? But like when you're guarding here, there's so many things that can go right.
Yeah, it's like I'm in like an advantage, so I just have to press that by doing like safe things that can make it harder for you to get towards me, basically.
Exactly, right. So with this laser F tilt, the only thing you have to be aware of is ledge hop aerial. Right? Stand outside of ledge hop aerial. And there's only so much distance I get. Yeah, exactly. Right? There's only so much reach he has.
And now laser's lucky in action, which looks cool.
So just respect this. Right, you just respect this distance, yeah, and then you just safely pressure from outside. Exactly, right? And it's not about, like, doing the most amount of damage or one hit killing me, right? It's just about never giving up this advantage.
Okay.
And you'll get better at it, like, you'll do more damage each time, you know? But, like, the fact is I'm never gonna get to center if you just control center this way, right?
Yeah. Shit.
I surprised you.
Yeah, you really did. I was trying to go for like a slide off the eye on like your next attack, but then I just got fucked. I did that.
Yeah, you got a shield dropper, shine out a shield. Nice. Nice.
That's so hard for Marth to get around. I always try to do that.
It is hard.
Be like a perfect.
You can use that tech. Yeah. Nice. Nice. Oh, Phantom.
Yeah, we'll take it, but it didn't work out in my end anyway.
You're playing pretty solid, man.
Thanks.
You're also mixing in a couple of our movement things better. Oh shit. Alright, see? It's that laser into, you know, laser into jump at me, you know?
Yep.
I can get 1 or 2 counters off on you for that in the, you know, set, but if it happens too much, it just means your timing is very predictable.
Okay.
Yeah, you must have that laser F-tilt position.
I'm trying to like mix in the new things as well as I can.
Yeah. It'll stop some of your decision making sometimes, I know.
Yeah,
or slow
it's
down.
like, I mean, I'm not trying to make guns. I'm just trying to mix it in. It'll get better and better the more I work on it.
Definitely. Uh-oh. Keep that position, right? You don't want to roll into me.
Yeah, I meant to do a
Wave dash.
I don't actually remember. Yeah, something not that. I think I misinput somehow.
It's okay.
God, I'm getting destroyed. I hate this platform. It makes it way harder for me to do a laser tilt.
Yeah, you have to do other kinds of like pressure, like down air. Right? Down air goes through this platform. Right? So when you say you hate this platform, what you should do is watch other Falcos deal with it.
Okay.
Survival. Ready? Go.
Good pacing. Nice. I like this positioning. Good positioning. Good. You can do Marth Killer.
Yeah.
When he goes extra
like,
low?
I don't know. I know like of it, but I never like, I don't know. I never have the situational awareness, I guess.
Okay, let me just teach you real quick. So, you set it up, you set up this a lot, right? Into down smash, right? So, there's two fast ways. Yeah, exactly. That's one of the fast ways. And then, you kind of did like this. So instead, just try to like jump back and then angle it. I don't know. You can do aerial and hold Z, right? You do like a down air or an air, and then you hold Z during the aerial. Yeah, like that. Or just if you're really unsure, do one of these. Right. So you jump over the down the up B part, right? So you short hop and then double jump over. And then yeah,
Okay.
it kind of tricked me to go on stage maybe. What you really don't want to do is just get hit by it, right? That's like the worst. Yeah, exactly. That's so as long as you kind of like bait it and jump over it, right? So you want to jump a little higher. Yeah.
I've seen Zoo do something like that before, where he'll like pretend that he's going for it, then just like instant double jump back air, they're landing.
Yeah, and the key is to just make sure you don't get hit by it. Or if you do get hit by it, you get hit on stage, right?
Mm-hmm. Are we playing again? Okay.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
I'm dead.
Yeah, you spent your double jump.
He got... Yeah, I think I have a problem where I'll double jump too much, definitely. Like, I find myself getting caught for it so much. I'll just like get smacked out of it, and then I don't have a jump, obviously, and then I die.
Yeah, here's the quick trick. Okay, don't use double jump here.
Yeah.
Right.
Don't use it near the ledge, basically.
Exactly. You use double jump when you have outs. Right. So if you double jump with no outs, you're screwing yourself. Makes sense. So we're over halfway through our lesson. I kind of want to write down some of the key ideas we went over so we don't forget. Okay.
Sure.
So Falco, what did we start out with? We started out with
Nair and Dare low to the ground, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Lower approaching aerials.
And mixing in tomahawks also.
Yeah. Well, it's just mixing your forward approaches. right? Your forward approaches were much weaker compared to your laser approach and your right. A lot of ways you're wrecking damage is like laser into quick aerial, and then I talked about like timing approaches, like mixing your timings. Right. So right now your forward approaches and your timings they're okay and they're strong, right? They're working out for you, but they can be more mixed up and they can help you kind of break to the next level. Using the strengths you already have, right? Like you have decent punish and approaches. You just want to mix in their strengths, right?
Okay.
So the lower approaching aerials will definitely give you stronger forward pressure. And then we talked about holding positional strength. Right, there are a couple times you give up your positional strength by like approaching the ledge or something. And then the last thing we just talked about was double jumping near the ledge. Right, avoid double jumping near the ledge. And then feel free to write anything down or ask me any questions as well. Right?
Yeah, I'm writing some stuff down now, actually.
Good.
Do you think in general that, this is just a random question before we play this, do you think in general that like a Falco should play more grounded or more aerial versus a Marth?
Definitely more grounded, right? Anytime you're in the air against Marth, you have a chance of getting vertically juggled.
Okay. Yeah, because I'll go for like, a lot of times I'll try to like jump up and then people will like try to approach me or something and then I'll just come down with it down air. But I also do notice that a lot of time I might just get like up tilted and then super fucked for it.
Yeah, what I'll say is you're onto one thing, which is Falco has extreme vertical strength, right? Because you can full hop, double jump mix-up timing, and fast fall mix-up timing, you have a lot of vertical strength, right? And down air is like unbeatable move, right? Uncontestable move.
Yeah.
Right, and there's different versions of the down air. You can even high down air into auto cancel, right?
Oh, that's basically that's how you like combo floaties a lot of the time, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, some of them. Here's what I'll tell you: if you want to get good at that, there's a lot of athleticism to that, right? Just knowing the different down airs, the different timings, coming down with different fast fall timings, right? Or wave landing or whatnot, right? And I'll say, like, that is definitely one way to approach some of your matchups. The caveat being Marth is one of the few characters that can truly punish it.
Just with up tilt and it'll outrange, yeah.
This move. This move is clearly beats up down air. Right? Okay. It clearly beats it. Up tilt does not clearly beat it. It's ambiguous if it beats it. But this move should clearly beat it.
Okay.
So, definitely consider that strength of yours, but be careful about it in this matchup.
Alright, thank you.
Yeah.
Alright, we can play. I'm ready whenever.
Sure. Westfalls uses this a lot. I'll just say that. If you want to, like, study someone, West is your man.
I was just talking about.
Yeah. That vertical shit. Oh my god. You're also positioning much better, just in neutral. Like, you're avoiding Marth's neutral moves pretty well. Oh, nice. When's the next tournament you're going
to? Next Tuesday I'll be going to one. This Tuesday I wanted to go, but I have work, unfortunately.
Oh yeah. Okay. Next tournament you go to? You think you can get a VOD of you?
I'll try my best. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it depends on. I'll ask G-Town if he minds if I play a game on screen. If you look up Kota Falco, there are a couple of VODs of me. I mean, they're ranging in like date and like recency and whatnot. So like there might be like skill differences between them.
I just kind of want to see how you do after this lesson, you know.
Okay.
And then also if you have a player or a bracket, you know, we can talk over the bracket too and help you with that.
Okay.
All right, just close out this match and win it. Oh, nice. Alright. We got time for one more match and one last question if you want to kind of wrap up that questions.
Okay. Let me think. What am I wondering about? How would you say that I should deal with a Marth that's like really good at power shielding? What's Falco's tools against that?
So we began our lesson with those forward pressure types, right? The jump pressures. And when he's power shielding, he cannot always power shield low aerials, right? Because of different timings. Right? You have high aerial, low aerial, and then tomahawk.
Yeah.
Right. So
what about like power shielding like lasers though? Like a lot of the times I'll get hit by the laser and I just kind of I don't know if there's any way for me to get out of it once I get power shield lasered on. Like, is there anything I can do to not just get like grabbed immediately, or am I just pretty much in a bad situation at that point?
Sure, let's talk about it. So I would definitely recommend, one is you look it up on YouTube and see how other Falcos are dealing with their lasers being power shielded, right? And then the big clue right now is that you're probably being power shielded, and then the Marth is positioned in such a way that he can punish you, right? So you're probably shooting your laser in disregard to where he is about to be.
Yes.
Right, and that's just the more advanced part of neutral, where like you're gonna shoot a laser and notice like, because a lot of times, remember when we're talking about you moving from place to place, I said it was too linear, right? You're just gonna start noticing how like you jump from your initial spot to the laser, and then where Marth is to his power shield spot. You'll start like noticing these initial distances a little bit more as you're shooting the laser, right? Not like during the power shield, but before the power shield even happens, right?
Okay.
So from that moment forward, once you start, you know, opening your eyes to initial positioning, you'll start saying like, oh, I can't laser here. I need to do those aerials in place that Bro was talking about, right? Because like the threat of him running in, or the threat of him power shielding, or there's so many positional things going on, you know.
You kind of have to be aware of like the next step that might happen before you choose your option, almost.
Yeah, and notice that you threaten the spots that you threaten in similar ways, right? When I put this VOD up, you'll notice how I'm talking about how you go from laser to jump in that same type of distance, right? And you've gotten workarounds to it, like you've maybe shot an extra laser, or the combo you do afterwards is so strong it doesn't matter that I know where it's coming from, you know? But you're gonna fix this initial part, which is like your initial spacing, right? Sometimes is questionable, and then once you fix that part, the rest of your game will just keep improving because you already got like the punish game or positioning, you know, locked down.
Okay. All right. Cool. We can play. I just got fucked.
Right, so good positioning outside of these ledge hop aerials.
Seeing you do what you were telling me to do, just like kind of holding me in the corner with all this shit.
Yeah, you started to notice. Yeah, right. I do it to you. Oh my gosh.
Shit. Oh no. That reverse laser was not exactly intentional, but it looks cool.
Yeah, the wall jump. Alright, man, that's been the hour. Good games.
Good games, man. Thanks for the lesson.
Yeah, man, I'll chop up this VOD and put it on YouTube for us.
Alright, cool. And do you want to message me in Twitter about your PayPal again? Because I don't remember what it is.
Yeah, man, no problem.
Alright, cool. Well, maybe we'll be in touch in the future again.
Yeah, man. And then let me know when you want your next lesson, or if you do, right? And we can talk about your matches or your brackets and work on like people local to you, you know?
Yeah, I'll try to get a VOD too.
Definitely, man. We can get you PR in no time.
All right, cool. That's what I want to do, man. I believe.
All right, I believe in you too, man. You're pretty good.
Thanks.
All right, take it easy.
Man. I'll talk to you later.
Yep. Peace. Alright, what's up, stream? Sorry I ignored you guys for a long time. I tried to do my best to type in between, but it's very hard to, you know, give an appropriate lesson while an appropriate 1v1 lesson. Have I ever been to Louisiana? Do I know any players from there? Skittles asks. I have been to NOLA. I have not played anyone from Louisiana. I know Trihex. Trihex is from Louisiana. I manage him. I'm definitely going to make this guy a junior. This guy is actually much better than he admits. He's a junior. He said he's just playing on and off. This guy's so good. Melee every day, what would you say would be the best thing to focus on when you're brand new to Melee? Piani Sully. What should you focus on when you're brand new to Melee? I would play the game to have fun. You know, for sure, right? The game is very fun and there's a lot going on. I would definitely do your best when you're new to absorb as much information as you can, you know, with an open mind, and the mechanical things, right? And there's a lot of misinformation out there, so be careful. But things like frame data, what your hitboxes look like, how to fast fall or L cancel or auto cancel your aerials, right? What are your common approaches as your character, right? I would watch videos of your character being played by a pro and try to do the same types of attacks or movements they're doing, right? So I would say when you're first playing Melee, when you're brand new, to keep it fun and keep it open-minded, right? You want to understand when you're just goofing around and when you're actually practicing, right? When you're actually, learning stuff seriously. Definitely have fun with it. And then definitely be open-minded and discerning of when, the real practice is happening. Kaisoa asks, bro, where do you think Hanky Panky would fit on SSBM rank? I haven't played him in a long time. Maybe he's not even a top 100 player. Maybe he is. I haven't seen his performance since maybe Big House 5? Big House 4? It's been a while. I certainly think he's good. I'm not even ranked top 100, so it's not a big jab to say someone is not ranked top 100. It's just how competitive it is and how active everyone is, right? Mauer asks, what does this cost? These lessons cost $20 an hour. You can schedule them with me on stream or on Twitter. I will actually be doing a lesson with someone from Australia tomorrow evening. That's actually really exciting. I don't think we'll be net playing at all. We're just going to be talking. But, even yesterday I did a Discord-only lesson, where basically I just talk the whole lesson. The lesson you just saw right now was obviously a net play lesson. I prefer to give net play lessons because